It's finally time to talk about the Disney lawsuits. If you've been following the news lately, you may have found Disney's name popping up a couple times in relations to a series of lawsuits. For those of you who don't know, Scarlett Johansson is suing the Big Mouse for a supposed breach of contract with their distribution of their latest Marvel film, Black Widow. According to Johansson's attorney, her contract allowed her a percentage of the film's box office royalties, while also guaranteeing an exclusive theatrical distribution. Black Widow does not look to be making the amount of money it was expected to make. Ticket sales went down 75% the next week it was out in theaters. Johansson's team is alleging that this is due to the release of the movie onto Disney's streaming platform, Disney+. The lawsuit has already gotten the support of Kevin Feige and Emma Stone, who in turn is considering a lawsuit of her own, giving the distribution of her film Cruella onto Disney+. So there's a few reasons why I wanted to talk about this. One, ultimately, I don't really care who wins this lawsuit. It's one millionaire fighting a billion-dollar corporation, so I'm not really losing sleep over who wins in this case. That being said, I don't think there's any way you can twist this around to where Disney shouldn't be held accountable. I don't know what was said in the contract. However, yes, if some exclusive theatrical release was stated in that contract, then it is very much a breach. Scarlett Johansson only receives a percentage of the box office, so releasing the movie onto Disney Plus doesn't benefit her and actively takes away money she might have been making. I just wanted to get that out of the way and show people that Disney is very much the one that's in the wrong here. I've seen too many people defending Disney, and I just don't understand how people can think that way. And I'll get into their reasonings in a minute. But the more interesting part of this whole story in my eyes is just how much this lawsuit is going to change the landscape of the industry in the future. First off, I'm surprised at how bold Scarlett Johansson's team is being. This pretty much burns a bridge between her and Disney, and you're likely to never see the two of them work together ever again. A very abrupt end, considering she just finished portraying a character of Black Widow for the past 10 years in multiple Marvel films. I know Black Widow is supposed to be her last movie, and that the character is dead, but it is still kinda shocking. Now let's talk about the implications of what this means, because this is asking a very important question when it comes to the future of streaming. As I'm sure many of you, like myself, have already figured out, streaming is the future. Hollywood is slowly dying the death of a thousand cuts in a losing battle against streaming. After the health crisis, people just aren't going to the movies anymore, preferring convenience and staying home to stream the latest movies or shows that are out. People always choose convenience when it's an option for them. With streaming establishing itself as the new future for the industry, where does that leave actors? Historically, actors always received a percentage of their film's box office performance. I guess future contracts will have to be more focused on the streaming aspect nowadays. Instead, actors may be paid at a fixed rate now, considering that more and more films are being pushed to streaming. Knowing that Black Widow is one of the lesser popular characters in the MCU, I figured her movie wouldn't do as well as the other MCU titles, but somewhere down the line, Disney saw the writing on the wall and considered it in their best interest to also release it in tandem onto Disney+. I guess just to boost their stocks and to make their shareholders happy. This story really is a perfect reflection of how times are changing. Companies are really now realizing that streaming may be the best way to reach their profit motive. This is what people who are defending Disney typically point to. I think it's a weak argument. I don't care if a billion-dollar corporation is making a decision that allows the maximization of their profits. I really don't. That's not an excuse for breaching the contract of one of your actors, even if streaming truly is the future. So while I agree that it may have been in Disney's best interest to release it onto streaming, I don't accept it as a defense. And I'm glad that ScarJo is willing to stand up to the mouse and say that this is not acceptable. I also think Disney's response regarding the issue was very weak, acting like this was all done because of the health crisis, which is obviously not true. We know the reason why you chose to do this, Disney. If I haven't made it clear yet, there is no reason to defend Disney in this scenario. They breached their actor's contract and are hiding behind a lie while doing it. And I say this while fully acknowledging that streaming is most definitely the future. And even though the health crisis is subsiding, people are still neglecting to go to the theaters, simply for convenience sake nowadays. This may mark the beginning of the end for the movie theater experience, and it does make me kinda sad. To wrap a bow on this whole fiasco, I am glad that Scarlett Johansson is doing this. I hope she receives some sort of compensation from Disney. I hope they can work it out. And I'm glad that Disney isn't able to just get away with doing whatever they want. I look forward to seeing how the rest of this story will play out. If not for nothing, this story can at least be fun to watch as the drama continues to ensue. Guys, thank you so much for watching once again. If you're new to the channel, then feel free to like and subscribe. I cover all different kinds of news topics going on in pop culture, as well as movie reviews, and I sometimes stream. I recently noticed that this channel has been receiving a series of new subscribers, so to all the new people, welcome aboard. I hope you enjoy the ride. And until next time, I will see you all in my next video. Peace.